Okay, so today factoring x squared plus bx plus c. What that means is the first number. So the format for this is always really ax squared plus bx plus c. So the coefficients are a, b, and c. In this case, we're only factoring where a is equal to 1. B can be anything and c can be anything, okay? So those last terms. So remember, factoring means we're going to put the parentheses back in. Here's the rules, okay? The rules for factoring when it's in this format and the first coefficient is exactly 1 are that to factor, you are looking for, to start off, numbers, factors, right, that multiply to get c, the value of c, but also, and I should say, and also add to get b. Oops, get b. Get, that's a T. Okay, so the main point is they gotta multiply to get C, boop, and add to get B. So it's like a little mystery. So what you're gonna do is if you see a trinomial and it's in this format, you start by setting it up into two binomials, okay? And so I'm gonna put a binomial like this and a binomial like this. The good news is that when it's a 1 in front, right, a hiding 1, the first term is always just gonna be x. Okay, so that's it. Now, our other two terms have to be the numbers that multiply to get C. So in this case, they got to multiply to get 15, but add to get 8. So give me two numbers that multiply to get 15, but add to get 8. Autumn, go. Positive 5 and positive 3. That is the answer because, right? So this is the factored form of that. If you were to do this out, right? X plus 5 and then make a box and do x plus 3, you'd get x times x is x squared. X times 5 is 5x. 3 times x is 3x. And then 3 times 5 is 15. What would be your like terms? 5x and 3x, right? So our final answer would be x squared plus 8x plus 15, which is what we started with. So you are basically, and when you're factoring, you're undoing your box, right? So this was our answer before. We're undoing it and putting it back in binomials. Does that make sense? Okay, let's do it again. So first thing you check when using this method is, and I'm saying this, I know all of them are going to be this way today, but starting our next lesson, they won't, okay? So if it's a 1 in front, right, of the hiding 1, then you can use this method. So it says, what is the factored form of x squared minus 11x plus 24? Okay, here we go. We start by doing two binomials. What did I tell you? The first term in each of them has to be. What's the first term? Go. X and X. Okay, now we got to use our rules, okay? What multiplies to get 24, but adds to get negative 11? Think about this in a second. It's got to multiply to get positive 24, but add to get negative 11. Go.
8 and negative 3.
You are so close.
Like across negative 3.
Nope.
What?
He said 8 and negative 3, and then he said negative 3 and 8. Again, they have to multiply to get positive 24 and add to get negative 11. Joelle. Negative 3 and negative 8. Because a negative times a negative is a what?
Positive.
So negative 3 times negative 8 would give me positive 24. But if I add negative 3 plus negative 8, I get negative 11. That's the answer. All right? This is why. I'm going to put the because this is our note. our notes, negative 3 times negative 8 equal positive 24. That equals our C value, right? Negative 3 plus negative 8 equals negative 11, which is our B value. That's why. All right, again, here's a story problem in the format of what we're talking about now, okay? So, story problem. Oh, nope, not story problems yet. Just kidding, online. Okay, what is the factored form of x squared plus 2x minus 15? You tell me what to do first now. What do I do first? Cam? Yep, because you're assuming that you've checked, right, that the a value is 1, all right? And we're going to put x in both since it is, all right? Now, what am I looking for? What do they have to multiply to be? And what do they have to add to be? 2. Okay, so what two numbers multiply to give you negative 15, but add to give you positive 2? Anthony? Positive 5 and negative 3. Because here, 5 times negative 3 is negative 15. That's our C value. They multiply to give you that, right? And 5 plus negative 3 gives you positive 2. That's our B value. How do you check them? You can FOIL them back out or use the square, all right? If you want to check your answers, but that's the answer, all right? This is the type of story problem that comes with this usually in some sort of format like this. The area, so it's giving you the whole area of a rectangle. Again, I told you that you could draw a little picture, right? So that's easy. You draw the rectangle. It tells you the area, the whole thing in the middle, is x squared minus 2x minus 35. What are the possible dimensions of the rectangle? So we're looking for what times what. So in this case, it's asking you the same question. And again, like we talked about before, we're not going to be able to give just numbers. We're going to have to figure out like binomials that work here. All right, here we go. X. All right, we are looking for numbers that multiply to get negative 35 and add to get negative 2. Carla, you were up first. Negative 7 and positive 5, because negative 7 times 5 gives you negative 35, which is our C value, and negative 7 plus 5 gives us negative 2, which is our B value. Oop, hey-o. Yeah. All right, we're going to save the last one for Monday, okay? For right now, we are going to focus on these first ones, okay? All right, now the assignment today is actually not 8-5 practice, okay? It is going to be, glitch. All right, a factoring trinomials worksheet, which it's got 26 questions on it. So there's a couple of them that we need to go over though before we start. So all of the front is exactly like what I just gave you. All right. Where we need to talk about some of them is the back. And so I'm going to include this on the video because they don't have a good example here from our book or whatever. Okay, so let's look at, for example, number 15. So the next move is, what if this is not a 1? Okay, if it's not a 1, there's a couple of methods we're going to use, but the first thing you check if it's not a 1, like in number 15, is before you do binomials, is there a greatest common factor that could come out of 2n squared, 6n, and negative 108? What would it be? 2. Okay, so I'm going to take the 2 out first. All right, so if I take the 2 out, I am left with, and by taking the 2 out, I mean I'm dividing everything by 2, right? Now I'm left with n squared plus 3n minus 54, right? Now I'm going to hold that 2 out, but I'm going to now factor this like I just learned. I'm going to factor that inside trinomial into binomials, okay? So since now this is a 1 right in front of here, I'm going to make 2 binomials, but the 2 is going to stay out in front as a GCF. Okay, so this is going to be n, this is going to be n. So I'm looking for numbers that multiply to give me negative 54, yet add to give me positive 3, right? Okay, 54. What multiplies to give me negative 54, but adds to give me positive 3? David?
Is it 9 and 6?
Okay, it is a combination of 9 and 6, but what's positive? What's negative?
Is it negative is 9? No, negative 6.
Negative is 6. Positive is 9, okay? Because negative 6 times positive 9 gives you negative 54. Negative 6 plus 9 gives you positive 3, right? In order to get the positive 3, the 9 had to be the positive one. Does that make sense? Okay, this is the answer. Let's do another one like that. Let's look at 16. Yeah, it's right next to it. All right, obvious GCF. 5, right? So let's take a 5 out, leaving us with n squared. Who can give me the other 2 terms now after that? Go. Perfect. So now when you do your next part, don't forget about this 5. That's got to be out in front. But now we're going to get 2 binomials starting with n here and here. Okay, again, this one should be pretty easy. They multiply to give you positive 4, but add to give you 2. Oh wait, this one's not an easy one. Okay, this one's hard. I'm sorry. What numbers would multiply to give you positive 4 and add to give you positive 2? Go, Carla. Nope. 1 times 2 is not 4. 2 times 2 is 4, but 2 plus 2 is also 4, right? What about negative 2 times negative 2? Is 4, but it adds to give you what? Negative 4. This is the answer on this one.
Oh, because you can't.
Because you can't get binomials. I'm sorry, I should have looked at that ahead of time, but that's good. I'm glad we did one like that. Sometimes you're going to get one that doesn't actually go any further, but this is still factored. Why is this still considered factored?
Because it's a parentheses.
Yeah, you put the parentheses back in, didn't you? You took a GCF out. Let's try another one. Let's try 20. Okay, what's the obvious GCF out of 20? All right, 5 again. V squared. Okay, somebody else this time. Give me what's left over when you divide the 5 out of the negative 30V and the 40. Someone who hasn't gone yet, I'm going to volunteer you. You're going to love it. Oh, who's the lucky winner this time? I think it's going to be Elvin. Go.
Negative 6b
Mm-hmm.
plus 8.
Perfect. Okay, let's see if it works, right? Do numbers exist, I should say now, that multiply that to give us 8, but add to give us 6? And I'm setting it up as if they do, but they might not, right? 2 numbers that multiply to give us 8, but add to give us negative 6.
There's none. Oh, wait.
Joel. Negative 4 times negative 2 is 8, right? Positive 8. Oh. Negative 4 plus negative 2 is negative 6. That is correct. Great job. This is the answer. See? Told you. It's like math mysteries. It's super fun. Everybody loves it.
It's kind of
Woo!
My brain did not work like